Let me show you what's behind
This looks like cack, eh?
I still can't.
What rubbish are you showing? I don't watch football anymore. I'm a cricket fan now. I'm like Peter. I watch rugby and cricket. That's it. Ladies and gents, to the major players prediction for WWE Backlash, WrestleMania, something. There's just a whole bunch of long names. We're calling it Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash, premium live event. And yeah, that's what it is. Nashville with me as well as always, the bald eagle, Jeremy. And as you guys can see, Kyle is not with us for this one. Apparently, he's too hungover to join us. Seems to be his mantra of life lately. I was supposed to get up with him last week and do some gaming with him, and he was too hungover to let me into his house. I was outside his gate for 10 minutes and nothing. Yeah. True story. I literally phoned him.
No, man.
He told me he's a little bit hungover. No, seriously, phoned him. I was in Centurion. Phoned him. I said, I'm about 15 minutes away. He said, I'm a little bit hungover. Please don't make it too much. I call him nothing, hoot, nothing. Eventually, I got tired and left. Phones me an hour later and tells me, "Are you still at my gate?"
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kyle Hunter literally get hungover repeat.
Yeah, that's up there. But we're not focusing on Kyle. We're going to focus on WWE WrestleMania Backlash. But before we get there, let's get of the scores, because the last video we did was WrestleMania, and we actually had a good WrestleMania, the four of us. Surprisingly, we got a lot of the predictions correct. Okay, so there's three of us got surprisingly a lot of the. Jeremy was not.
I went with Brock. Can I just point that out? I went with Brock.
After those predictions and everything, looks as follows. Place we've got Jeremy with 22. In third place, 3. Myself with 24. And leading the pack, I'm going to predict after this won't be leading the pack, but after that, Kyle with 26. All right. So yeah, we're going to get into the predictions for the premium live event for WrestleMania Backlash. To give you guys a rundown of the card before we get into there, we're going to have Seth Rollins versus Cody, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Champion, RK Bro versus Usos for a unification tag team title match. We then have Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin, AJ Styles versus Edge. And because we're predicting this 2 weeks before WrestleMania Backlash is even taking place, because we scheduling and all that sort of stuff, we're predicting 3 matches that will be on the card, basically almost 100% confirmed. But we're going to do them anyway. It's Bianca Belair versus Sonya Deville for the Raw Women's title. Bobby Lashley versus Omas, and the winner gets MVP, I guess. And then we have the women's tag team match, Sasha Banks and Naomi taking on Natalya and Shayna Baszler. So let's get into the predictions. First up, we're going to talk about Bobby Lashley versus Omas. And after the recent turn of MVP, turning his back on Bobby Lashley for no reason other than he's being. We have a very interesting match because we had this match at WrestleMania, which was a good match, right? In my opinion, at least. But it was the fact that Omas was a sort of a heel and Lashley was a sort of a heel, and it was a bit of a weird dynamic. Like, you didn't know who to cheer for at WrestleMania. Now we're getting this match again where Lashley's clearly a face and Omas is clearly a heel. So the question I explain this to you guys before I give my prediction on this: does that dynamic change the anticipation of this match? Does it make that match seem better or worse? the fact that you have a clear face and a clear bad guy, you know? Jeremy, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on that one?
Okay, first of all,
I know you like two big, meaty, sweaty men going at it.
Meaty, sweaty men. Look, I like Lashley, and I've had it in the back of my head for a while that Omas needs somebody to speak for him. He's a big guy. He can move. He's not in the same. He's a big guy, but he can move. He's one of those guys that can. He's not a Shanky or the rest of them. He actually gets to the ring, and you can see he's got something behind him. His mic work needs a lot of help, and I think that's where this is going to help him. Being teamed up with somebody, it actually feels like an old school type thing. It feels like Bobby Heenan teaming with Andre the Giant back in the day, that type of thing. I think it's going to be good for him. I think
I agree with you a little bit on that. I do agree. Yeah, I do agree with that one. Nash, what are your thoughts on this? Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
No, it's cool.
You talk too much. Sometimes I just wonder. Carry on.
I'm going to go with Omos for this one. I think they give him the win back from Mania. And obviously shenanigans, and that's going to lead to an MVP on a pole match at some point. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because that's what I'm leaning towards this. I want it to be Bobby Lashley versus Omas, and the winner gets the custody of MVP services. You know, if I remember correctly, there was a storyline like that where the manager was forced to be with someone for a year. I can't remember who it was, but I remember the storyline.
Was it not Marlena? Are you not thinking of Marlena?
It was, yes. It was Marlena, where the winner had to get her services for a year. It was like stipulated specifically for a year.
They didn't. They very loosely worded that, and I remember Pullman kept going on. It's your services for a year. The loose cannon sounded hella creepy through that entire thing.
It was Marlena.
Yeah, but
Nashville, give us your thoughts on Lashley Omas.
Okay, before I give you my predictions, I feel like Baz, every time I have to correct you. Anytime we do a Bobby Lashley match, you have to introduce Miss Jeremy as Mr. Headband, okay? It's Mr. Headband. Get it right.
The headband is dead. It does not exist anymore.
It will never be dead
until a certain comes back. It is dead.
Honorable member, withdraw your statement immediately.
One day, you guys are going to get the surprise of your lives, and then suddenly there's just going to be a new Facebook request, and then we'll talk.
Then the headband is back, in my opinion. But as of now, it is not.
When www.shop.com starts selling headbands.
Yes. You know, if they do that, I will personally buy Jeremy one. I will go and buy him
I'll hold you to that.
From WWE.com. Hold me to it. I will.
And he will have to wait for every prediction where there's a Bobby Lashley match. Or
every single prediction with a Bobby Lashley match.
You might have to pry it off me. If I can just point out, Bobby Lashley wrestled entire matches in TNA with the headband on. That thing would come off.
Without coming off.
And by the end of the match, it would be on again.
So yeah, I agree with you all that this is basically like MVP on a pole match. Although I would have liked to have MVP's contract put inside of a briefcase and then they fight over the custody of MVP that way. But anyways, this is how they're planning to do it. And in the words of Big E, this is basically two big men slapping their meats together. And you guys know my feelings towards wrestling. I'm not so much for the heavyweights, but I'm more for the cruiserweights. But occasionally I do like the two super heavyweights going at it. And I like this new dimension of Omas with MVP because Omas is going to go very well with MVP because Omas needs some polish on his mic work. Just like the way Brock Lesnar needed some polish, but Paul Heyman was there by his side to cover that up. And I think MVP is the Paul Heyman to Omos, if we were going to look at Omas as sort of like a Brock Lesnar type. So going into this match, I don't think the face-heel dynamic changes it that much in terms of, the story. In terms of the storyline, it does. But in terms of the actual matchup we're going to get, other than Omas having now been wrestling more frequently, getting him some more TV time, he's going to look a bit more cleaner in the ring rather than as green as he was the last time Lashley and Omas went at it. But coming out of this match, I only see one thing and one thing only, and that's Omos winning. There is no way that Lashley is going to win this match. He won at WrestleMania, and the trajectory of WWE tells me that Omos is going to win this one, hopefully leading to a rubber match either on a Raw TV or Hell in a Cell. But there's no way they're going to make Omos lose twice, because Omos needs to keep up that credibility. So if there was anywhere for Omos to have lost his losing streak, it was going to be at WrestleMania, but now going forward, I see a win for Omos. So my prediction for Backlash is Omos for the win.
All right. Jeremy, did you give me your prediction?
Yeah, Omos.
Yours said Omos. Yeah, I thought you did.
Yeah.
I can remember. You ramble on so much.
Guys,
sometimes I just fades out.
Yeah. You guys know how Vince thinks. Vince loves the 50-50 booking. This is
Yeah. So just to give you
Yeah,
guys
but
my thoughts on this,
Yeah.
you guys said basically this is Omos's match to lose, so to speak. I think WWE is investing a lot into Omos. The fact that they've paired him up now with MVP, I think, is a big thing that they're showing that they have a lot of care in Omos. That they want to push him. They see something in him. Personally, I thought Omos might be joining the Hurt Business before they turned. I thought the Hurt Business was the Hurt Business. I thought Omos might be a good addition to that group. Would have been interesting to see that, almost like Evolution when they broke up, like first Cedric and Lashley turns on Omos, or Omos turns on Lashley. Would have been a better dynamic, in my opinion. But with that being said, definitely Omos taking the victory for this one. And I want to be a champion of some sort by SummerSlam. He'll be like a US champion or intercontinental champion or something like that. Not a world champion. I don't see Omos beating Roman Reigns for that, but definitely maybe a US title. Maybe he'll be and that's how Lashley started with MVP. Exactly the same. I think we're going to see the same trajectory that we had with Lashley and MVP, with Omos and MVP. Maybe not as successful. I'm still on the fence with Omos, whether he can be a proper wrestling star or is he just a great Kylie, you know what I mean? If you know what I mean. Like, he's on the fence for me for those two. Like, he has more wrestling chops than Great Kylie, but I don't know if those can transpire to a long-term monster push, if you know what I mean. Like, that sort of concept. That's for me.
Can I put something out there? Can I put something out there? Just seeing that you've mentioned the Hurt Business. Do you not think
you're going to anyway?
Do you not think it reforms? I think the Hurt Business reforms under Omas now.
I missed all of that. My sound just went all funny.
No. I said, do you not think that maybe they reform the Hurt Business with Omas on top this time?
I mean, that's a possibility. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
What is Cedric and Seth fighting again, or they're still friends?
They just
they had the feud, and then they came back together all of a sudden as a tag team, and then disappeared. I don't know.
And they've actually come out to the Hurt Business gimmick for a while, if I'm not mistaken. I saw it on Raw a few weeks back.
And let's get to Kyle's prediction on this match. And surprise, surprise, Kyle has gone complete left turn from all of us. He's happy to pick up the win.
Vintage Kyle.
He wants that to go for it. I don't know why.
So
he hasn't given a reason. He literally just sending me a list just with these predictions, and that's all we got was Bobby Lashley. So maybe he sees something that we don't. I mean, he is the leader at the moment, so maybe his vision is a lot better than ours for this card. We're going to move on, though. Second match that we think will be on the card, doesn't mean what we think, and that would be the women's tag team match, and that is Sasha Banks and Naomi taking on Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Now, this one I found very interesting, and the reason behind it is Natalya has been heavily 2.0 the last several weeks. I mean, she's come in, she's helped the younger guys. She's got a match with Nikita Lyons next week, I think. The week after. It's next week, right, Nash? I know you're probably jotting down something that I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so it's very interesting to see, they're doing sort of a Dolph Ziggler with Natalya, where they're bringing him back to help the younger guys, but still keeping him on Raw, which I sort of like.
Yeah.
It's good, but I honestly thought Natalya and Shayna Baszler were done as a tag team. I thought they were done. They had this little thing where they were we're gonna go our separate ways, and Shayna was turning heel on everyone at one point. It was very weird. Baszler's tag team history is just weird in general for me, because every team that she's been with, she's turned on them and then formed another tag team straight afterwards just to turn on them again. It's very weird. But anyway, going into this match, I don't see Sasha and Naomi dropping the titles. I see them keeping it. Natalya and Baszler, I'm predicting a split at Backlash. I think they're going to have a little bit of an issue. They're going to split. We're going to have Natalya and Baszler probably at the blow-off match, and I think Baszler will be pushed into a championship position. I think they have to pull the trigger on Shayna Baszler. It's the match that we need to, because Ronda Rousey, I guess we haven't got that prediction yet. But if you look at this thing, you look at the rest of the SmackDown women's roster, there's no one else that's in a position to challenge either Charlotte or Ronda Rousey, depending on who wins. There's no build-up to anyone. They have someone like Bayley who's injured, who's ready to come back, but they haven't pulled the trigger on that one. And who else? Am I missing anyone, guys? Who else in the women's division of SmackDown is in that position? Who?
Jay Conti.
Hey,
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. There we go. Yeah, but seriously now, we've got, if you look at the women's singles division on SmackDown, you've got Shotzi, who I don't know what's happened to her. You've got Bayley, who's injured. You've got Asuka, who's injured, who could potentially move to SmackDown. You have Aaliyah, who has been wrestling a couple of dark matches on SmackDown afterwards. That's it. We haven't heard much else from her. And that's it. That's all we have on the women's roster. I can't think of anyone else. Because Lacey Evans wasn't vignettes on Raw, so it doesn't make sense to me with that one. But yeah, so that's what I'm going with.
But
tag team champions to keep their titles, Sasha Banks and Naomi. Nashville. I've got a good inkling. I've already written it down. Let's see if you're going to change my mind of who's going to win this match. But let's give me your thoughts.
Nah, I went all left at WrestleMania because I think I was thinking way too deep about the heel face paradigm. But yeah, for this one, I'm sticking with my bae, Sasha Banks, and her partner Naomi, which I know Jeremy's a huge fan of, because he wants to be inside of Naomi, if you know what I mean. But anyway,
family show, man.
That's a kid show. Keep your head on.
No, I mean inside a costume. Inside a costume. Do you not want
I don't want to press
glow?
the 18 plus button on YouTube. Stop doing this.
I meant inside her costume. In her glow costume, so you can glow with a bald head. Glow.
Jeremy loves to feel the glow.
But yeah, this basically comes back to what I originally said about the women's division, and we all can agree on is that there is literally no depth to this women's division. Anybody who's had any credibility is literally out injured. They haven't really built any stars. And I don't know if you guys watched SmackDown this past Friday. I don't know what they're trying to do with Aaliyah, because she was in a segment with Ricochet backstage, and it almost looked as if they were trying to turn Aaliyah into a backstage interviewer. The way she cut that promo was so interviewee-like that I think they're going to try and turn Aaliyah into an interviewer, because maybe they don't see any, I don't know, value in her in being a wrestler, even though they gave her that record of the fastest win in WWE history at 3 seconds. And then you got, you're talking about Lacey Evans, Jeremy, and then Vaz was talking about Shotzi Blackheart. I don't know what happened to her. Lacey Evans looks like they're lining her up.
Just Shotzi.
So that when she
Blackheart's gone, eh? It's just Shotzi.
I don't care. There'll always be the first names I remember them. It will always be Mustafa Ali, Antonio Cesaro, Chad Gable, not Shorty G, Baron Corbin, not Happy Corbin. I will call them.
On my notepad and correct you every time. That's what I'm.
I don't care. I'm gonna call them by their original names.
You're probably one of those guys that think Elias and Ezekiel is the same person, eh?
The vicious cycle will continue. That's all I can say. And yes, I do believe that one day we're gonna hear him say, "Hello, my name is Ezekiel." And yeah, that's how I see it going. But yeah,
come on.
Nah, I don't believe the lie detector's tests. Anyways, the way
Why? Just America passed it, and he wasn't Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, no, that was America. That was Mr. America. Who Hogan?
It was different. That was clearly Doink the Clown.
If you go back to 2015, I would have asked you, Hogan who?
I think we can ask that question right now, and it'll be quite relevant.
Anyway, we've got Nash's prediction. Jeremy, what are you going with this one?
Nah, Sasha, and I don't see that belt coming off them just yet. And I had a quick Google here. There's a total of 11 wrestlers currently active on this SmackDown roster. 11. And don't forget, guys, Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel. We've never seen her before.
Yes.
You've never seen her before.
Okay.
And then Xia Li, the world's most confused superhero. She's on there as well.
She's injured.
She apparently only saves you if she has no idea what else to do. Who else is on here? That's it.
She's injured. She's got a shoulder injury, I think. Something like that. I read something.
She said she can't take care of herself.
There's just 11 ladies on the female roster on SmackDown.
That's actually scary, actually. I mean, that's the entire roster for AEW Dog, you know what I mean? That's for female wrestlers.
Well, Raw is a little bit better.
Okay, so you're going Naomi and Sasha Banks, and then we've got Carl's prediction.
I've got some alternate facts for you. Raw's just a little bit better. They've got 12 wrestlers.
Wow, exponentially more.
Booming women's division, eh? To have 2 belts and a tag team belt. That is amazing.
I haven't even checked NXT. I don't want to.
Carl doesn't see the same vision as us again, apparently. He's going with Natalya and Shayna Baszler to become tag team champions, which will then make Baszler a 2-time tag team champion. Nice little side tidbit for you guys. And then we're going to move on to our last unofficial predicted match that we're talking about, and that is the Raw Women's match with the 12 women on Raw. Only 2 of them will be doing match, and that would be Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion, and she'll be taking on the, former backstage authority Sonya Deville. I don't know. It seems like Drew Gulak has taken over her position. According, if you go into what happened at SmackDown, it's just very, very weird to see Drew Gulak there with contract signing. But yeah, So we got Bianca Belair, Sonya Deville, Raw Women's Champion. Jeremy, give me your thoughts on this one.
Gidget says hi, just by the way. She's decided she's no longer going to be left out, so she's wanted to be part of this. Guys, this, I don't know. If there's ever it feels forced. This whole thing with the backstage authority, it feels 90s. It feels early 90s at best. I don't see that belt coming off Bianca for a long time. And I think the pop that she got this year at Mania was a little bit better received than the one that she got last year with Sasha. But yeah, I don't see that belt coming off, guys.
I don't know about that. She won an award for the one she did last year. Just putting that out there.
They both carry on. And Vas, neither of us understand the award or most of the promos happening anyway. So there's that.
I'm going to disagree with you. Bianca Belair fan. I'm getting into the youth thing. I'm understanding it more.
Are you?
And the only reason I'm a big fan.
Are you hip?
What?
I say, are you hip now?
I'm hip.
Are you hip?
I'm happening, like, as the kids would say, I'm kiff at the moment, you know. I'm on point. I don't know.
You're on your fleek.
Look,
yes.
Come on, man. Come on. Even pointed in you on that one. Doesn't even want to look at you anymore. No. So, in all honesty, I won't understand Bianca Belair. I never will. But she has won me over as a wrestler. After that match with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, I can honestly say that I am a Bianca Belair wrestling fan. Gimmick-wise and promo-wise, I'm lost. Sorry, I don't understand it. I probably never will understand it, but in the ring, fantastic wrestler. I don't see her dropping the belt to Sonya Deville. For me personally, it's a very weird matchup to have. I mean, out of nowhere, Sonya Deville's challenging for the Raw Women's Champion.
Exactly.
Makes no sense to me. Like, why? But yeah, anyway. So I'm going with Bianca Belair on this one as well. Nashville, who are you going with this one?
Vaz, I think all the Gen X and Gen Zs are reaching to their phones and wringing your neck after you said that you're hip and on point and kiff. Terms that I used when I was a kid back then. They're not relevant right now at all whatsoever. But I disagree with you guys. I understand the storyline. I don't understand. I understand everything about the storyline. It goes back to the Naomi Sonya Deville storyline. Sonya Deville is always going to be this overbearing authority in the women's division that wants to always, poke her nose and poke her finger everywhere where it doesn't belong and try to make herself feel like she is of all the women. So her inserting herself in this match doesn't shock me at all. I did not see it coming, but at the same time, it's not like it shocked me. When I saw it happening, I was like, okay, it makes sense because she is that kind of heel authority figure. She's the one who pokes her business every single way she can, just to make herself feel like more powerful. So the storyline, I get it, I understand it. What I don't understand is why it hasn't been officially announced on the card yet, because literally they signed a contract on Raw and there's already the storyline brewing. Bianca Belair, put her hands on Sonya Deville while she had the jacket on, paid her fine. Literally, the story is ongoing. So why it hasn't been announced on the card yet, I don't understand it. But if I'm looking at who's going for the win, I'm going for Bianca Belair for the win, not Sonya Deville. And I think this is going to be the beginning of the end for Sonya Deville's authority figure. I think she's more than cleared and ready to return to the ring. So from now on, Bianca Belair wins, and I think from now on, Sonya Deville is going to start coming gradually. She's going to be stripped of her authority jacket, and she's going to be now put back as an active competitor in the ring. And that's how I see it going moving forward.
to be replaced by Drew Gulak.
Yes.
All right, just catching you guys up on Carl's prediction. Yet again, surprisingly, 3 for 3. Carl decides to turn the ball around, and go for Sonya Deville to take the title off Bianca Belair. So he believes that Bianca's going to have a 1-month reign as a Raw champion after beating Becky Lynch. So well done to Carl. He's
He
optimistic.
wants more cheese puffs.
No, remember, you guys in the comments need to tell us what punishment Carl needs to do. We haven't had a lot of suggestions, but you still have a lot of time. We have, 9 months to go?
Yeah. And make it good, guys.
Let's get your predictions.
If I see cheese
tell
puffs
us-
in there again, I'm
Yeah,
going to lose
tell
my
us.
mind.
All right. We're going to move on to a match which, surprisingly, I am into. I honestly had no interest going into WrestleMania of either of these two. And somehow, some way, they have hooked me. And I can't explain it. I can't tell you why I'm enjoying this storyline. Don't click your pen at me, Nashville. It's my opinion. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I think it's hilarious. And as you guys know, and I've told you this guys before, I'm a huge fan. And I always have been. I think he's a fantastic character in general. I think he's brilliant. And Madcap Moss has won me over. He should get rid of the little comic jokes that ring gear outfit that he's wearing is terrible. But he could be a fantastic wrestler as given the opportunity if he can. I think he's fantastic in the ring. And this storyline, I think it's fun. I personally believe that this is a really fun, energetic storyline. It's goofball. It's Jeremy brought it up earlier. 90s wrestling. It is the funny, just stupid side storyline that nobody wants to see, but we all love watching it. It's like Val Venus and the Japanese mafia. You hate it, but you love it. Don't shake it. Jeremy, you're my age. You understand me, right?
Yes.
You understand.
Unfortunately, I
You
do.
understand what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do.
But with that being said, I'm going to give you my prediction. I'm going with the Madcap Moss win. I think he needs the one more than Happy Corbin. Was he going by Baron? I think he is actually. He's not happy anymore.
Crappy
I don't
Corbin.
know. But anyway, Madcap to win. Happy Corbin. Madcap to win. And I think that'll help him push up. And I do see him going into a US title, intercontinental title picture soon. I think the WWE guys are behind Madcap. I think pairing him up with Drew McIntyre was a big sign going forward, and pairing up with Happy Corbin in a feud is a big sign. Those are two guys that WWE has depended on a lot, especially the COVID era. Those two are really in the forefront. Don't be disappointed, Nashville. It's true. It's true. Search your feelings. It is true.
I
Give me your
refuse.
thoughts. Give me your thoughts.
This is, you know what? This match, and I'm going to piss you off, Vaz. This match is nothing but a joke. That's what this match is. I absolutely despise this match. I hate it. I hated everything right from freaking day one. And I mean, not just the pay-per-view, from day one of this freaking storyline. I hated it. I hate 90s wrestling, especially the whole freaking cartoon WWE. That's why I think that's why WCW won that part of the war.
Nashville. This match is SAWFT.
So,
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
And you can't teach that. That's man.
And you can't teach that. Bada bing, realest guy in the room. How you doing?
Jeremy, I will bring up Otis again. I will bring up Cam from Modern Family, and yeah, look at your face now. Look at his face. Look at that
You
face.
can go too far, Nashville. There's a line. The fat line, but there's a line.
Oh, really? My line
Listen.
draws where SWFT is
Listen here.
spelled. That's where
Listen
my
here.
line is drawn.
The only thing that I will bring up to you guys' attention yet again, every other Money in the Bank winner, right? Even Carmella, even when it happened with Carmella, somebody took that case down and then they won it. AJ Styles, we've seen him grab Ultimate X's and things in TNA. We've seen him. His hands work. We know they work. Like this. Like this. His fingers work in a working way. How is it when you win one of the biggest prizes in WWE, your fingers suddenly... And let's not forget, 2 men died in this match.
I was about to say that. Yeah, they died.
One of them is
He
not
died.
with us anymore at all. I mean, you know, whatever happened to Malachi Black? Well, sorry, Alistair Black.
I don't know. But there's a guy that looks
R.I.P.
incredibly
Alistair
like
Black.
him.
Yeah.
There's a guy that looks incredibly
Yeah,
like
yeah,
him.
that Malachi guy. Yeah.
AEW. Yeah, they keep switching the lights off. They've got an ESCOM thing happening over there. But let's not.
I
I
think
always
only the
find
South
that
African.
the House of I always found that House of Black stable. I'm going off tangent here, but guys, don't you think Buddy Murphy needs to get some tattoos? Like you look at Brody King, you look at Malachi
so
Black,
badly.
he just
So,
stands.
guys, I would even appreciate them doing like the whole.
This group.
Do you guys remember Hakushi? I don't know if Vass probably does. Hakushi was this guy back in the day that feuded with Brett, and even he had like writing on his. They would even do that. I would take that. I would take that.
Lord
What about,
Tensai used to have the Japanese writing over him.
Yes.
Yeah. Just do that.
You come out with 2 guys that look like they've been used as scribble
He looks
pads.
like. You know what? You know what Buddy Murphy looks like? He looks like me in this situation.
There you go.
He looks like the Vaz of the major players.
That's essentially what it is.
One of us doesn't belong here. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Yeah, we've digressed.
I have more ink than Buddy Murphy does. I probably belong in that group more than he does.
Well, I don't even think he has any tattoos. I don't know.
No.
Anyway, we've digressed way too much on this one.
You would have thought
back to...
when he was part of Rey Mysterio's family, they would have helped him out there a little bit. But
all right, Nashville back to Madcap Moss and Happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Madcap Moss for the win. As much as I hate the storyline, and yeah, I'm skipping through this whole match. That's all I gotta say.
Jeremy, where are you going with this one?
I disagree with Noshad like 100%. Guys, that's part of the reason that we watch wrestling. It's fun. The goofy stuff is good sometimes. Yes, okay, they go a little bit too far.
Name, it's Nash, bro.
So, why did you stop watching Otis when he was doing the goofy stuff, Jeremy?
No, that was terrible. There was a grown man that was pretending he was a piece of bulldozer equipment.
The caterpillar was one of the greatest moves ever.
No. That was awful. I don't know what it is. I love goofy wrestling. I grew up on 90s and 80s things. As much as I give Coco Beware stick, the man was awesome. He came out
exactly
with
that's exactly goofy wrestling. Yeah, I mean,
he made it work. We grew up on wrestling on a guy. We bought into the fact for almost 30 years that a guy that was essentially a wrestling zombie was great. It's goofy. It's goofy.
Yeah.
We loved it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is about.
He was possessed by an urn. Let's not forget the power of the urn.
Let's not forget about, oh yes, my Undertaker.
Anyway. I feel like we've digressed way too much.
Getting back on track a little bit here. Yeah, Moss. Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
He's
with
got to
Moss.
get. He's got to get some wins. He's got to get some momentum going, and he has to get some wins in. And unfortunately, if he doesn't get a couple wins in, this whole thing's going to be dead in the water. So
Yeah, I agree. That's why we're all saying Moss. Well, all of us should be saying Moss, but of course, our log leader, Mr. Kyle, has gone the opposite route yet again and has picked a Happy Corbin. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I've just realized something. Kyle is essentially that meme, the Fast 8 meme, where Vin Diesel goes this way and everybody. That's literally what it is.
Listen, I don't make up these predictions. This is what he sent me. I'm just reading what he told you guys, what he's telling us. So, if you want to take it up with him. This is what I'm telling you. So he's going Happy Corbin with this one. We're going to move on to the next match, which is a rematch that is highly anticipated, but not really highly anticipated, being that a lot of people, me not included, by the way, I thought it was a fantastic match. We're extremely disappointed. And that is Edge versus AJ Styles. Again, Nash, don't please attack me. I thought it was a good match. But apparently the international wrestling community thought it was a terrible match. But that could be AEW marks. Who knows? This is the rematch, though, and it's a AJ Styles who has been haunted by Damian and Priest as well as Edge and the new Brood. I think the Priest part is gone. I think after the blue light promos, I don't know anymore. But I will say this: I've enjoyed Edge's promos. They've been very interesting. They make no sense in the long scheme of things. Like he's just babbling, like incoherent babbling for like 15 minutes, and then Damian Priest just standing there, evil. It's a weird little combination, but I like it. I like it. Before I get to my stuff, let's get Jeremy's one on this one first.
Okay. So going into Mania weekend, I said this was one of the matches that was going to steal things. And while I think it missed the mark just a little bit, there is one thing for this entire build-up that has hit a nerve, and I'm not over it. I'm not over it enough. I've kept it nicely under wraps until today. But can I ask you guys the question? When was the last time a wrestling match stopped because of a blue light and the other wrestler just left?
Yeah.
Like, the match was on. We were all there. We were all watching it. It was good. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. But then suddenly, AJ Styles was gone. He wasn't like pulled under the ring by anybody. Nobody. AJ Styles was there, and then he was gone. The blue light like phased him out. I'm not sure what happened. And I'm there for everything else. Guys, you know
I feel like Vince Russo might have had a say in that match. That's what I feel like.
I sat there and watched that entire thing. I actually rewound it because I thought I missed something. And I went back and I was like, what happened? Wait a minute.
Nash, you say you don't like 90s goof wrestling. That was ultimate 90s cheese right there. That was
right out.
That
right
was
out of there. Like top draw.
That was like at the top door of Undertaker producing lightning from his fingers or sacrificing Stephanie McMahon. That was up there. Which, by the way, sorry, I'm going a bit of a tangent. Just realized recently when Undertaker sacrificed Stephanie McMahon, that was essentially Vince McMahon sacrificing his own daughter since he was higher power and controlled everybody. So just bear that in mind. Vince McMahon willingly sacrificed his daughter to beat Stone Cold Steve. I'm just putting it out there. But anyway, back back to AJ and Edge.
Guys, yeah. I'm glad you actually broke the tension there with that. So all I'm going to say is I'm gonna go with Priest on this one. There's gonna be a lot of shenanigans.
Priest isn't in the match.
Um,
It's Edge and Chris. Edge and
who's in
AJ.
there? Is it? No, then Priest probably pulls somebody's leg and Edge wins again. But guys,
You're going Kane to win.
I've lost this. It should have been really good. It should have been really, really, really good. I think they've gone a little bit over the top. A little bit. I think they can pull it back. And I think when they debut the other people that are supposedly coming through to this new group, we could see something interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Edge again, I guess.
All right, Nashville. Who are you going with on this one?
Yeah, so going into WrestleMania, I was super excited for this match, and I still am. I mean, it was a good match. Wasn't match of the night like I wanted it to be. That award goes to a match that actually took place on Saturday night, but we'll get to that in due time. But this match, yeah, that whole lighting thing was absolutely confusing. This is exactly why I disliked the 90s wrestling. It was super cheesy. And this whole freaking blue light thing. I honestly thought for a second that Damian Priest was going to look up and say, "Beam me up, Scotty." That's what I thought was going to happen with this whole blue light coming on him, but nothing happened. And then, but yeah, I like this dynamic though of Edge and Damian Priest. It's done well. It brings back the Brood. I watched a lot of the Brood, and I liked how this dynamic looks a little bit like how the Brood was. So that's
No. You like the Brood. You like the Brood, but you don't like 90s goofy wrestling. The Brood is the epitome of goofy freaking wrestling. They were vampires in wrestling.
No. Vampire.
Come on.
The Brood is not.
They came from the ceiling. They drank from blood goblets. Come on.
They came up.
The
Wait a
Brood
minute. If for nothing else, have you seen the shirts that they came out with? If for nothing else.
Let me correct both of you. The Brood was not the 90s cartoony new generation wrestling. It was the Attitude Era wrestling. Though they drank blood. Would you see that? Would you see kids watching someone drink blood and their parents being okay with it? No, you wouldn't. That's why the Attitude Era.
Edge ran around for a long part of his early promos, just running around Toronto in the dark, just screaming at people. Do you not remember those vignettes?
I remember that.
That was literally what he did.
That was Attitude Era. Again, it wasn't a cartoony thing to me. That was Attitude Era. That's why I say, them drinking blood, you cannot...
Listen, Attitude Era was 100% cartoony. You remembering Stone Cold and Vince, the rest of it was as cartoony as you can get.
Cartoony.
Val Venus had his manhood cut off on live TV.
He was going to chop off another man's pee-pee.
Pee-pee, go bye-bye.
Mae Young gave birth to a hand. How can that be in a cartoon? Literally.
Have you never watched South Park? Have you ever watched South Park?
It is not a cartoon. South Park is not a cartoon. It's an anime. It's different. Dragon Ball Z
South Park is not an anime.
No, it's not.
It's nowhere near an anime.
No. Whoa.
Same one.
Time out.
The same ones that think Simpsons and Family Guy is a cartoon. Am I right? You think Family Guy is a cartoon, Simpsons is a cartoon.
It's animated. But there's a different style of animation that's anime. And
Nope.
Okay. Anyway.
Fine. Changing my mind.
Just give us your prediction. Just give us your prediction.
You know what?
I'm staying out of this one.
I want to say AJ Styles wins because of the 50-50 booking, because he lost at Mania and then now If he loses again, he would lose all his credibility. However, I don't see how Edge taking a clean loss and then leaving it as is, having Damian Priest at ringside is going to make any sense. So I'm going to go with AJ Styles for the win, but I see after the match Damian Priest getting involved, and just put this in your heads for a minute. Damian Priest and Edge carrying AJ Styles out on his back, over their shoulders. That would be a good way to end that match, that whole little storyline. Maybe AJ Styles turns, goes black on us. He goes rogue. But for the win, I'm going AJ Styles for the win.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you why you're wrong on this one. And on so many different levels. AJ Styles is not going to turn heel. It's too quickly from his original heel to face turn on Omas. It's way too quick. It makes no sense. All right, so I respectfully disagree with your vision on this Nashville. And all it does to me that you have no vision, and you should follow the vision. Vaz, open your, and you will see the truth, my friend. You will see the true visionary that is Vaz. This is what's going to happen at that match. AJ versus Edge. Edge is going to win after a distraction from Damian Priest. Right? They're going to have like some sort of altercation. Finn Balor is going to come out and make the save for AJ Styles. All right? They're going to have a standoff. It's going to be two on two like this. Everything cool. That blue light's going to... And the third member of the faction will appear, and that would be Tommaso Ciampa. He's going to be the third member. Christian's busy with Impact and AEW and the Forbidden
he's got
Door
a
and all
dinosaur
that
now.
stuff. Yeah, he's got a dinosaur and a jungle man as he's... Leave him. He's basically the new Marco Stunt in Jurassic Express right now. So leave him. Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa will be the third member revealed as the faction. The three of them come in. They're going to beat down AJ and Finn Balor. And then at Hell in a Cell, we're going to have a 2-on-3 match. Or 3-on-3. And AJ and Finn are going to introduce a third member. Probably some NXT guy coming up or something like that. We'll get to that storyline. I haven't thought that far ahead in my booking mind. And that is not a spoiler. That is a prediction. Calm down in the comments before you attack me. And
yes, I'm not happy. Vaz, would you like another tinfoil hat? I can make one for you.
There's no tinfoil hat coming, dude. You'll be wearing it because I'm telling you what is happening. I'm telling you.
You know what? I have to agree with Vaz on this one.
You're doing a trial right now.
I have to agree.
Jeremy
with Vaz.
agrees with me. That's
Because,
gonna happen.
look,
I'm telling you.
It's been rumored for a while now there's going to be add-ons to this new, Brood 0.0, as I like to call him. But
but not all.
There's no way better than for it to happen now.
Yeah.
However, I don't know if they do the whole AEW thing and bring Balor in on the same night and bring a third member in. I don't know if they pull the trigger like that.
They will.
That's
Why not?
Yeah.
No.
Listen,
no.
Maybe.
No.
You never know. But the fact remains is
Because
Edge
Vince
is
thinks
going to
we're
win.
all daft. That's
Finn
why.
Balor and AJ Styles are going to form a tag team to try and take down this. That's going to happen.
But it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to happen on the same night.
Maybe it won't happen the same night. Maybe the next night on Raw. AJ cuts a promo about how he's been beaten, and then the lights come out and Tommaso Ciampa takes him out, and Finn Balor comes for the save.
No,
I don't know.
I think
like
they go. I think they go 3-on-1 first. I think they go 3-on-1 first, and then Balor comes out, and then they do the whole.
At Backlash, AJ picks up the victory, and then he beats up Damian Priest, throws him out. He's alone in the ring. No, listen. No, Edge wins. AJ sort of retaliates while he's celebrating, takes out Edge, takes out Priest. He's in the ring alone. Third member rocks up, starts taking a 3-on-1 beatdown. On Raw, it's announced a 1-on-3 match. Maybe that. And then during that match, Finn Balor comes for the save the next day. Maybe something like that. Or a week later. Maybe AJ's
something
recovering
like
from his
that.
wound.
Something, but I don't think
something like
I don't
that.
think
Okay.
they pulled the trigger. I don't think they pulled the trigger on them.
But we're on the same page, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of.
The,
I'm probably on the next page.
The more veteran heads, of this of wrestling, the ones that have been around the block for a couple of years, Nashville, understand booking. We understand booking. That's how it goes. Anyway, giving you guys, giving you Kyle's prediction, and yet again, 4 for 4, 5 for 5. He's going with AJ Styles to pick up the victory. He's following a Nash just 50 booking, I guess. When it comes to
We are
WWE, so we never know.
50 booking.
Well, that's debatable. Let's move into the one of the matches which I was super excited for at WrestleMania. I personally feel like this was match of the night. In fact, match of the weekend. It was a fantastic match, and I could literally see them wrestle forever. Also, currently, Seth Rollins has the best entrance across all professional wrestling. Just that dance and the visionary dance is amazing.
Yep.
And we've got the prodigal son going up against him, Cody Rhodes, in his first scheduled premium live event for WWE, because apparently he wasn't scheduled for WrestleMania according to the way WWE has worded it. He was surprised. None of us knew it was coming for like 3 months. But anyway. Yeah. But this is the official match. It's his official re-debut in a premium live event, I guess. Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Cody picked up the victory at WrestleMania based on the fact that Seth Rollins wasn't prepared. In going into this match, I am about 75% leaning towards a Seth Rollins victory based on the fact that I don't think this is the last time these two are going to face off. I think they're going to push the storyline a little bit more on the fact that I don't think Roman Reigns is ready to face one of them for the title. I do think it's going to be either Seth or Cody as his next challenger before Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre will come after as a sort of a blow-off. But here's my prediction on this. This is my long-term booking. It's not erratic, Nash. Calm down. Basically, I think Seth is going to win this match. I think going into a Hell in a Cell, they're going to have a number one contenders match with possibly Drew McIntyre. 3 triple threat, number one contenders match. And then at Money at the Bank, that maybe Drew McIntyre wins that one because Cody and Seth take each other out. McIntyre capitalizes. Money in the Bank, we get Drew versus Roman. Money in the Bank match, Seth and Cody are in that match. Cody wins Money in the Bank, and then maybe the next pay-per-view cashes in and defeats Roman Reigns. I think that is how Cody is going to get to his WWE title. I think they've portrayed this that it's the one title his dad never had, and Cody needs to have it, and there's going to be so many opportunities to get close, like the son of a plumber getting so close and then taking it all away from him, and like putting him in like that storyline, that pulled up storyline. That's what I'm going with this one. What's that? Oh, the grandfather of a plumber.
Grandson of a plumber. Grandson of a plumber.
But that's what I see it going long term. I do see Cody. I don't think they're going to give him a title shot straight away. I think they're going to build it up. He's going to have a couple of losses. Going to make it like he's down on the ground. Cut a few weird promos again, and eventually rebuild up. It's classic WWE style. They root for the guy that's about it. They did it with Daniel Bryan, where he came close so many times, and eventually had his feel-good moment. Maybe even wins the Money in the Bank, Cody. Hey, of course they won.
What was the difference?
Crowd takeover wasn't scheduled, wasn't planned. The Yes movement was fake. You think WWE didn't plan the Yes movement? Fake. Come on, man.
That wasn't fake. That wasn't fake, but they didn't want it to happen.
I disagree with you. I think
This
that
they're
was
trying.
all storyline.
This here actually
Anyway.
feels like they're trying to make it, trying to push it that way.
But anyway, but that's my prediction. I'm going with a Seth Rollins win on this one. Based on that I think long-term booking, this isn't the last time we're going to see these two. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'm going to leave Nashville because I see him brewing there, and I want him to get more ammunition. So, Jeremy, give me your thoughts on this one.
Guys, there's no way you debut Rhodes with the amount of pomp and splendor that you have, and then job him out in the second match. There's no way. There's no
I know it's a job out. No. It's the third match, technically. He had a match on Raw. He's not going to job out. It's going to be a hell of a match. It's going to be a hell of a match. And Cody's never been afraid to drop a match. He's never been afraid to lose a match. I mean, he lost the TNT title to Sammy Guevara to help him elevate him in AEW. He's lost a few matches. Yes, he's got the golden shovel on AEW and buried a lot of guys. But before that, he was dropping matches left, right, and center. I mean, he lost a match where he wasn't allowed AEW championship ever. He was never allowed to compete for the AEW championship. Yeah.
However,
Cody is a smart wrestler. Cody is a smart professional wrestler.
Yes.
Vince McMahon, as much
Cody
as we
is a
think
smart
he is
professional
senile and lost his mind, Vince McMahon has a pro wrestling mind. All right. Yes, he does very questionable booking. Him and Cody will have made this plan. I can tell you that now. I am telling you, the underground hero of Cody Rhodes is going to be the underdog. The man is going to put everything against him and keep getting knocked down. Will triumph. I'm telling you, that's the story they want to portray. After that promo after WrestleMania, when he came out and gave us his whole life story and his dad and all that rubbish, that is the day that I realized WWE is going to try to do that bullshit. They're going to try it and it's going to pay off. I guarantee you, Cody Rhodes is going to be that underdog hero. But anyway.
Look, as much as I want to say that, yes, I could see that happening, I don't think Vince does that. The only parallel that's probably that they're probably going to do is that at some point there's going to be an event at Madison Square Garden, and that's where they pull the trigger on this whole thing.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm still not 100% convinced that Rollins loses this match. I don't think that wins and losses affect Rollins the way they do any other wrestler. I don't think. I think he's gone to this level where he doesn't need a belt. He's beyond that belt. In fact, if you put the belt on Rollins, it's probably going to weigh him down more than it would any other wrestler.
Look, I think you're right. I think Rollins is in that position currently where if you think back in the early 90s, early 2000s, actually not lie, mid 2000s, where The Rock was in, where Rock was when the came out and all that. The Rock didn't need a title. He was the great one. Everybody wanted The Rock. He didn't need that WWE title, and he's in that unique bubble. Triple H has been in there. Mm-hmm. Shawn Michaels has been in there. It's almost like they are better and bigger than anything in professional wrestling right now. And Seth, you know what? Take my hat off to him. Well done. He managed to make it work, and he's done an amazing job. He took what is essentially a terrible gimmick, terrible, I don't know, fashionista gimmick thing that he's taken, obnoxious fashionista thing, and has made it just amazing. From his time as the Messiah and this full revolution of this character has just been fantastic to watch. And there's no way anybody right now, whether you're a WWE fan, AEW fan, you love Seth Rollins. He's in that bubble.
Yep.
So you're going with Cody to win this one, Jeremy?
Absolutely.
All right. Nashville, you've kept everything very quiet, very still. I saw you jotting on your pen.
He's been brooding over there.
Especially when I wrote. Yeah. Look at that. There's like a whole essay there. I'm going to give you like 5 minutes, so go.
I was super excited about this match. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. When Cody Rhodes made his entrance at WrestleMania, I was super excited. Like this match, when he came out, I marked out like crazy. I was like, it's still real to me, damn it. And I was enjoying myself. I loved it. It was a great match. And it's obvious Vince McMahon saw how awesome this match is, and that's why he's having Rhodes and Rollins go at it again, because he wants to milk every last drop he can out of this. But for the life of me, I cannot see Rhodes coming in and losing clean, not clean. If, and I say a very big if, Rollins wins, it's going to be by some underhanded tactic, grabbing the tights, holding the ropes, maybe sending him into an exposed turnbuckle, something along those lines.
That's what I envision, basically. It's going to be, I never said it's going to be a clean victory for Seth. It's probably going to be some shenanigans, but I still see Seth picking up because I see money in this match. All right. I see 2 matches is not the way it's going to end. Okay. And the thing is, if Cody wins, there is no reason for them to fight again. There's no reason that Seth Rollins deserves a 3rd shot at Cody. And Vince McMahon is all about the money. All right. They need to try and milk this for at least another month. That's why I'm going Seth.
Yeah.
But purely on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's why I think that this is not going to be the last match. We're going to have a rubber match at Hell in a Cell next month in June 5th. Because Vince McMahon sees money in this match and he's going to milk it right to the end. So just based on the fact that I don't see this feud ending just yet, I am going to go with the Seth Rollins victory, but it's not going to be a clean one. Rhodes is not going to lose clean, and he's going to use that as a reason for their Hell in a Cell match. And I think at Hell in a Cell, Rhodes will come out on top, and we're going to have him go on to win Money in the Bank in July. But that's just my long-term booking. But for this one, I'm going Rollins for the win.
Look, I think the Hell in a Cell match will be Seth versus, and I think we almost guaranteed to see some blading, much to Jeremy's happiness there. All right, going forward. Carl agrees with Jeremy on this one. He's going with a Cody Rhodes win. Jeremy, that doesn't. That's all I'm going to say. They're then going to the unification match. It is RK Bro versus the Usos. For, of course, the WWE SmackDown and Raw Championships to unify them. I'm going to kick us off. I'm not going to give you my prediction. I'm going to kick you off. Traditionally, I have to say this. I don't like tag team wrestling. I don't. If anyone ever asks me what my top 5 matches are in tag, it's going to be New Day versus Usos, New Day versus Usos, New Day versus Usos, New Day versus Usos, and then that one tag team match from the NXT, which was fantastic. Okay, that is my top 5 currently.
5.
However,
you said 5.
For New Day versus Usos. I can't even tell you. There's one SmackDown, one the Hell in a Cell one from the pre-show, which was fantastic. The Backlash one from Backlash. It was one of the other, and the Hell in a Cell match. Those were the 4 that I love. But anyway, with that being said, you guys obviously know I'm an Usos fan. I'm a New Day fan. The other tag team, which I have loved since they formed, is RK Bro. I think Randy Orton and Riddle have been one of, like, Jeremy, you remember this. Back in the 90s, they used to pick 2 random wrestlers who were terrible, threw them together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There were a bunch of them.
Very often.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them.
Which is why I don't get why people complain about it that much today.
No, I don't. I remember the one tag team was Kozlov and Ezekiel Jackson. It's like the most random tag team that they threw together.
That's not even the worst one.
And it worked.
Those aren't even the
Look at
worst
Brian
ones.
Kendrick and Paul London. They were two agile dudes. Throw them together. And they became longest tag team champions for a while. There's lots. But anyway, digressing a little bit on this one. So what I'm saying is, RK Bro reminds me of that 90s. Chuck two random guys, two very good random guys, and let's hope they stick. All right. They didn't have a storyline for Randy Orton. They didn't have a storyline for Riddle. Let's pair them up and let's see where it takes us. And it took us to probably some of the best tag team and like the best promos from a team. All right. Like Randy Orton's expressions when Riddle speaks is just fantastic. Like Randy has no idea what that guy is saying. Like nothing. But he's his partner and he'll agree with him. He's like, yeah, well done. No idea, but yeah, well done. So that's what I'm saying. This match has the potential to crack my top 5 wrestling matches. And it might even break that like Uso New Day deadlock. Okay. That is my thoughts. But before I give you my prediction, I want to get Jeremy's. I'm going to start with Nashville actually on this one. Nashville, give me your thoughts on this one. I know you're a big fan, especially of tag team wrestling in general as well. So give me the lowdown on this one.
So before I go into this match, I just wanted to say that the fact that Kyle is actually making a prediction for Cody Rhodes means that Jeremy is actually rubbed off on Kyle since they tag team at WrestleMania. So that's like that.
Two struggling individuals thrown together.
Exactly. Except they have something in common. Except they have something in common. And 2 things actually. They both like drinking, and they both are India #1.
I'll take it.
And coming to this match, so when someone says 2 random guys thrown together to make a tag team and it worked, immediately from the 90s, the only team that pops in my head, and you might like this, Baz, not so much Jeremy, but the picture comes to my head is the one I see all the time in memes, and that's Owen Hart and Coco Beware. Literally, that's the 2 oddest guys together. I mean,
that was stuff. I actually forgot about them. Yeah. I love that tag team.
High energy.
High energy. Were they like aerobic instructors or something like that? Was there like things that they were always
if you
doing?
think it was bad like that, at some point Coco Beware left and they took the same outfit and put it on Jim the Anvil Night Out. The exact same one.
Yep.
And I guess they thought we weren't gonna notice that at some point they changed the rest
Coco Beware changed to Jimmy Night Out.
No, that we.
I remember that. That's when Coco retired.
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
So
same music, same entrance style, just
exactly the same.
Different skin color. That was it.
Yeah, it was like, hey, you were different last week. We have no idea what it was, but
anyway, yeah.
You look different.
The fact that there's a tag team wrestling championship that's being unified logically tells me in my mind that by SummerSlam latest, we're going to have the women's titles being unified because USA's contract's winding down. I think WWE is going to go full Fox. They're going to have both Raw and SmackDown on Fox. And maybe this is just WWE showing the middle finger to USA for probably not wanting to renew their contract after so many years on that network. And I have given this match a lot of thought over the past week, more especially because I'm looking down the rabbit hole and I want to see how far it goes.
10 seconds later.
Let's go down the rabbit holes here. So Usos, if RK Bro wins, right, the Usos are going to go in a downward spiral with Roman Reigns. Basically, Roman Reigns is going to be berating them, saying, "Oh, you couldn't get the job done the way I did at WrestleMania. I handled my business, and you guys couldn't do the same." The Usos are going to try and win back Roman Reigns by, like trying to help him win titles and stuff like that. But they're going to fail ultimately in trying to help him. And this is going to lead to the breakdown of the bloodline because Roman Reigns is going to feel like he doesn't need the Usos anymore. And, they're going to carry on with their whole, the breakdown of the bloodline, basically. However, if the Usos win, this is going to lead to the breakup of RK Bro that has been rumored for a while. Randy Orton has been on record saying that he has enjoyed his time with Riddle. He loves tagging with Riddle. However, and he prevented actually the breakup of him and Riddle at WrestleMania. However, all good things do eventually come to an end, and I think going into the summer, we're going to get the breakup of RK Bro. Randy Orton's going to turn on Riddle and be like, oh, Riddle tried to steal my spotlight. He thinks he can be the next Randy Orton. There's only one Randy Orton, that's me. And Riddle's going to be like, oh, Randy Orton's jealous because he saw that I was getting more popular than him, or he thought that I was going to take over being a better Viper than him. And that's what's good. That's where that whole storyline goes. So going into the trajectory of things, the right call was made at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns being the undisputed champion, not Brock Lesnar. I would like to think that Vince McMahon is going to look in the direction of the bloodline and bestow upon the Usos for their years of service the undisputed tag team championship. As much as I know Vince knows that RK Bro is over, he is somewhat into RK Bro, having given them all the opportunities he's been giving them. I don't think that RK Bro as the first ever undisputed WWE champion, tag team champion, sounds as cool as the Usos as the first ever undisputed WWE tag team champion. So just based off the lineage of which looks better coming out of Backlash, I'm going with an Usos win.
Yeah.
I agree with you. So I'm going with the Usos win. I don't see them losing. I don't see WWE dropping the or breaking up the bloodline anytime soon. I think they're good. I think RK Bro, as much as I love them, and I've told you guys how much I do love them, I do think they're going to break up soon. Randy's going to turn on Riddle, but personally, I think it could be really cool. And I know it's a complete long shot and probably not going to happen. So it's not one of my crazy predictions. It's just something that would be fun. Is if Riddle turned on Randy Orton, all right?
Yes.
We all expect Randy to turn. We all expect Randy to go back to the Viper and all that stuff. But what if we don't expect Riddle to turn? Imagine Riddle as a heel. Like, that would be fun. Like, he had a heel run in NXT, which was great. And I think him as a heel turning on Randy Orton, his icon, the man that, Randy, I love you, bro. Imagine how much that was a cool thing. Like, I know it's probably not going to happen because, it's WWE and we don't get nice things from them, unfortunately.
It could happen because we all expected Dean Ambrose to be the heel, but it ended up being Rollins. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah, fair enough. With that being said, though, Jeremy, who are you going with this on this one?
Okay, so I've learned my lesson after WrestleMania, and I will never, and I mean never, ever, not pick the Usos and Roman Reigns ever again. I've learned my lesson, right? So I'm gonna go with the Usos for the win, and for all of the reasons that you guys have said already, I would love to see Riddle turn instead of Randy for a change. And can I just point out, there's the opportunity for more people. I would like to see that as well. Maybe we have a couple more belts being unified under the umbrella of the bloodline, like the ladies' belts, and who knows?
So I was actually thinking that. So, like, ladies' belt, you can bring in Naomi. She's the most obvious one because she's married to someone in the bloodline. That's the most obvious. There is no other real female wrestlers currently that fall into that family. Is not part of that family.
Yeah, close enough.
She was not part of that Samoan family.
But listen, I've got an idea for you.
Just because they're Samoan doesn't mean they're family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys do know there's another guy on NXT, right?
That's what I'm getting to. So Intercontinental and US title.
Oh,
the younger
hold on,
Uso.
Hold on. Now you're going away now. You're going away. What if somebody that's currently in what if currently the existing bloodline decides to have the IC and the Universal belts or the US title?
What? So Roman
Paul
taking
Heyman.
everything.
What if Paul Heyman comes out and Paul Heyman's been playing Who's on Us all along? And underneath that suit, he looks amazing.
Imagine Paul Heyman as your IC title, as your US
guys.
champion.
Come on. It writes itself, guys. Can you not see Vince McMahon being handed that idea?
Listen.
And he's like, This is such good shit.
I don't
man.
think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. Like, I can imagine, for example, now, I'm going to use Austin Theory being the champion, right? Vince McMahon, it's his protege, will be like, oh, all right, Theory, your first opponent is Paul Heyman. You know, as a joke. You know, because Paul Heyman's he's not a wrestler. Paul Heyman comes out there, like, Theory starts dominating. Referee gets knocked out. Usos come, take out Theory. Roman Superman punches him, lays him out. Put Paul Heyman over Theory. Bob's your uncle. Paul Heyman, the first ever manager / IC champion. The wise man.
And who's got the intercontinental title now? Does it even count?
Ricochet.
Oh, Richard O'Shea.
Yeah.
He would lose that over lunch. I mean, Vince literally just put that belt on him, probably because he was going to leave and go to AEW.
Let's think of this logically, though. Let's think of this logically now in terms of bloodline. Let's leave Paul Heyman out of this one for now. You got either the IC or US title can go to the younger Uso. What's his name? Shikoa. What's his name? Shikoa. Yeah.
Solo
Shikoa. Yeah. Solo Shikoa.
I think it's Jacob, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
That's Solo, not Jacob. Jacob's probably his name, like real name, like
Jacob
Toretto.
Yeah. So he could take it. Female side, the only one I could say is Naomi. There is no other actual bloodline, Nash. Just because they're Samoan doesn't mean they're related. Just remember that. I was thinking maybe Nia Jax, because Nia Jax technically is a blood relative, because her grandfather did a blood pack. Yeah. But that's obviously not going to happen, because I doubt Nia Jax will ever return to WWE. And there is no other females in the family. So Naomi would have to be that one. And maybe they build up. Maybe she keeps Sasha Banks and they bring her and Sasha Banks into the bloodline. Sasha can be an honorary bloodline member because they're the tag team champions. And then she goes on and becomes tag team and WWE Women's Unified Champion. You know, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But yeah, we're all in agreement. Usos are going to go ahead. Well, I would say we're all in agreement, but of course, our resident drinker, Kyle, is obviously hitting the bottle a bit too much. He's
been hitting the sauce.
RK. He's gone with RK, bro. Maybe he celebrated 420 a little bit harder than all of us here. Maybe him and Riddle were on the same planet on that day 4 days ago. Who knows? But he's gone with RK, bro, to win this. And we have reached the final match of the card. What's predicted to be the main event of the card. Much to the disappointment of all of us, because let's face it, I'm gonna say me, because I think the WrestleMania match was poor. I thought it was a terrible match. I think the two of them have had much better matches. The last time they fought each other was a much better match than what we had. I hate to say it, but somehow, and I don't understand how, Ronda Rousey has gone backwards in wrestling. Like, the first time she came out, she was really decent in the ring. Her promo skills were okay. They weren't the greatest, but she was accomplished in the ring. She had nice moves. She had crisp moves and stuff. She worked well with Charlotte and Becky. They were fine. Fast forward about 4 years later or 3 years later, and she has gone. It looks like she is like green as hell in the ring. She looked like she didn't know what she was doing. Her promos have been shockingly bad. Like, she forgot how to speak. I don't know what's going on with her.
Are you talking specifically about Friday night's episode?
I'm talking about all promos, but Friday was just as bad. Like, I'm sorry. That whole
contract signing, signing was just.
It felt like, you know, like. I'm gonna bring you another analogy from like the 90s, yeah. And Jeremy, I know you will feel this one, but it felt like watching Marty Jannetty doing a promo and seeing Shawn Michaels keep quiet in the background. You understand what I'm talking about? Remember, Marty was supposed to be the veteran.
I understand exactly what you're talking about.
And in the early stage of their tag team, he was always giving these horrible promos, and you could just see Shawn was going, "What is going on in this man's mind?" And that's how I feel watching this. Like, Charlotte is probably putting on some of the best promos I've seen her put on. trying her hardest to be relevant, and as soon as Ronda opens her mouth, all credibility gone. It's like you don't even want to watch it. So that's my feeling on this one. I am 100% backing Charlotte Flair to keep see Ronda beating her at all. And I don't see Ronda staying in WWE much further after this as well. I think this latest run has proved that the fans really don't want Ronda. I think it's just proving that she's not a big draw in what Vince and WWE thinks she actually is. Jeremy, let's get your thoughts on this one. Who are you saying is going to win this one?
Sorry, guys.
Jeremy?
That to switch to audio only. Line problems, but I'm gonna be quick. I would like the belt to stay with Charlotte for a little bit because honestly, I'm not sure what Ronda's on or who should be taking lessons from. Because do you realize Ronda Rousey literally has like a split personality that we've seen the past few weeks? She's been smiley Ronda, frowny Ronda, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's going to show up at WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah, but I think
don't know.
she's
Like,
going to
what did Drew Gulak really do to to deserve such a heinous crime?
He didn't bring the file
He
out.
was just-
I have no idea.
He was just doing something. Like he was just filling in for Sonya Deville.
wait.
It's like Sonya Deville's busy.
One more thing.
I just want to do a PowerPoint presentation. That's all.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think his participation in this whole angle is done. By the way, because when they cut the promo, when they were
Probably
doing
not.
the stuff for next week, when they were doing the promo stuff for next week, they said the opponent. They're going to tap the opponent out in a certain time. They didn't say who it was. I have a feeling both Charlotte and Ronda are both going to be wrestling Drew Gulak.
It's going to be another James Ellsworth situation, isn't it?
Yeah, but only
Becky
only
and Carmella were.
This guy actually has a job, so that's a difference.
Well, and he's actually a more talented wrestler, I guess.
Yep.
Like Drew Gulak is actually a very, very talented wrestler. That's just being underutilized. But anyway, so you're going with Charlotte win, Jeremy?
No, I'm going with, unfortunately, Ronda.
You're going Ronda Rousey, okay?
Yeah.
So why he's wrong?
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, okay. Let me take this from the top. Yes, Ronda has regressed, and I think if you go back to WrestleMania 31 and you see her promo with The Rock, Ronda actually looks more confident there than she actually does now. And I chalk it up to ring rust. She's been away for 3 years. She's lost all promo mic skills. She's lost, her touch in the ring. And I think that's what it chalks up to. She's just been away too long, and she's just lost everything that she had all those 3 years ago when she came in. That being said, as much as I think Ronda's pop is now gone, whereas before she was, everyone was popping for Ronda from the Royal Rumble all the way through to WrestleMania. I think when Charlotte, pinned her at WrestleMania and took and kept the title, I think that's when the pop fizzled out. And but I don't, for the life of me, I cannot see Ronda Rousey screaming into a microphone saying, "I quit." I can actually see Charlotte Flair doing it because she's done it before as a heel. I could see probably Ronda Rousey twisting, Charlotte Flair into a pretzel and Ronda being like, "I quit, I quit, I quit, I quit." That's how I see this going. I can't see Ronda Rousey, reaching for the ropes and then the referee is going, "Do you want to quit?" And Ronda's like, "I quit." I can't see. In my vision, I cannot see Ronda Rousey saying the words "I quit." I can see Charlotte doing it, but not Ronda. So based on just that, I'm going to go with the Ronda Rousey win. You can't have Ronda Rousey lose, such a huge star, lose twice in a row. If she loses at WrestleMania, it makes sense. WrestleMania, the pressure gets to her. But having her lose on a consistent basis, I don't see it happening. So, and this is not a Cody Rhodes situation where Cody Rhodes could lose with dirty tactics from Seth Rollins. There's no dirty tactics you could use in an I Quit match to justify how Ronda lost. So it's going to be a Charlotte Flair win for me.
Look, I forgot it was an I Quit match. You're on mute, Jeremy. You're on mute. I forgot
I
it was
just
an I Quit
remembered something.
match, like 100%.
There is a dirty tactic that can be used during an I Quit match, and I just thought about it. Has Ronda said I quit at any point on the mic?
Yeah, she
You're
has.
going over the limit, aren't you? Or Mankind,
look,
The Rock.
So I did give my prediction. I told you guys, Charlotte, but I forgot it's an I Quit match. And that changes things a little bit for me because, like Nashville, I don't see Ronda Rousey saying those words.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to switch mine. I'm going to switch mine because I genuinely forgot it was an I Quit match. And I don't see... Oh, man, that just screws up my entire, vision that I had for this going forward. But I just can't see Ronda screaming I quit at all. I can't. With that being said, though, I am going to switch to Ronda. Nashville's picked Ronda, and of course Kyle, with this prediction, just really confused me a little bit. This one, he's going with Alexa Bliss for the victory.
Yeah, he would. That's not confusing.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's not even in
the
the
one
match.
time she's not in a match, he picks, when she is in a match, he doesn't pick her.
So yeah, he's going with Alexa Bliss on this one. So maybe she's going to have Ronda and Charlotte in a guillotine and make them say "I quit" at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a surprise third entry into this. I don't know. But yeah, that's what Carl's going with, Alexa Bliss. And on that terrible, terrible disappointment, we're going to have to call the major players premium live event for WWE WrestleMania Backlash a wrap. We've got our predictions. We've all pretty much been on the same path. Bar Kyle, of course. He's decided to go left field completely. However, the only two matches that we're sort of mixed upon is the Seth Rollins Cody, and of course the other one being Edge and AJ Styles. No, it wasn't that one. I don't know. We're all literally the same, except for Seth and Cody. That is literally the only match that we have changed, and that's just Jeremy. Myself and Nash have the exact same predictions going forward. So interesting. Yeah. So Jeremy, it's all going to go down on Cody versus Seth Rollins for you. That's going to be your deciding factor. One. The plus side is the rest of the card is exactly like ours, so maybe you can catch up to Kyle after his predictions as well, because he's got every single match different, except for, of course, Cody Rhodes going with Jeremy on that one. But with that, for me, your mother's favorite podcaster, Vaz, from our Nashville data killer himself, Nash, and of course, our bald eagle, Jeremy, and of course, of our hangover buddy, Kyle. We'll see you guys again next prediction show. It's heating up. Please, guys, don't forget, click the subscribe, click the bell to get notified of all new content that we post up. There's a lot of wrestling coming up. Okay, we've got AEW coming up next. I think it's the next one.
Yeah,
Double or Nothing. We then have Hell in a Cell coming up like that. It's going to be hectic. We've got then the Forbidden Door, which is coming up, and Money in the Bank, all coming up before July. So there's a lot of wrestling prediction videos. And despite me being outside Kyle's gate for so damn long, we are going to record some gaming content as well from WWE 2K22. I don't want to give away too much, but one day Kyle will let me into his house and record that stuff. We have everything mapped out. We've got like about a 26 episode series coming for you guys. So going to be a lot of epic fun. And please, guys, notify, comment, tell your friends, parents, grandparents, everyone, and tell us what you want our punishment to be at the end of this year. We need to know that. So please, guys, get on that. But from all of us, till next time, peace.